Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and this is a Superchat Square Up. I have a number of miscellaneous Super Chats that have been left over last week from the ExoZone, from the Inquisition, and I'm going to go ahead and share those with you today. I want to thank you all for your patience, and it was a crazy week. YouTube shut down in the middle of our ExoZone, so we were left with a whole lot of Super Chats there, a number of them on the Inquisition. So, without further ado, since we leave no Super Chat behind, let's get to it, shall we? Admiral O.F. Doom with a $10 Super Chat. Thank you, Admiral. Says, you guys are hitting the political infestation of entertainment right on the dead. It's such a shame that unless you are their kind of bigot, you are all that's wrong with the world. B.S. Frack them. Just an observation. Thank you, Admiral O.F. Doom. And by the way, I am doing the Inquisition Super Chats first. So there you go, kind of going in order here. Admiral O.F. Doom, thank you for that keen observation, my friend. And I appreciate you being here, man. Hope you're listening today. Electric Gayhem with a £2 Super Chat says, love The Prisoner. You heard The Prisoner by Iron Maiden. I have actually not. People have sent me suggestions saying I should listen to it. I just haven't gotten around to it, Electric Gayhem, but I will absolutely look into that because, well, sounds like my cup of heavy metal tea, doesn't it? Hail Iron Maiden, high and hail to The Prisoner. Jack Random with a $2 Super Chat. Thank you, Jack. Says Disney will buy Star Trek Back to World from Insurrection. Oh, wow. You had to come up with something even worse than Ewok World, Jack Random. Even worse than Ewok World. Well, I don't know, Disney didn't put any Star Wars into Star Wars land, so if they go ahead and buy Star Trek, I have no reason to believe that they would put any more Star Trek into Star Trek land than they did with Star Wars, but only time will tell. Thank you, Jack Random. R. Fletch with a $2 Super Chat. Hail R. Fletch, who says STD is not in my future. Anyway, good man. No wonder you have 9 lives, R. Fletch. No wonder you have 9 lives, R. Fletch. Well done, my friend. STD shouldn't be in anybody's future, or really even anybody's past. I wish I had never watched it. Thank you, R. Fletch. Eskimono Phono with a $1.99 Super Chat. Thank you, Eskimono Phono-san, who says, hail to the mothers. Hail to the mothers, absolutely. All the mothers throughout this great land of ours, whether or not it's Mother's Day or not, whether or not they are Frank Zappa and happen to be the mothers of invention or not. Hail to the mothers. Amen. Words to live by. Big Daddy MRI with a Doomicorn unleashed in the chat. It galloped, it ran, it left poops that turned into rainbows. Such is the way of Doomicorns. Thank you, Big Daddy MRI. Tracer Bullet with a $2 Super Chat. Thank you, Tracer Bullet. Says, hail, Gary. Yes, Stairway sucks. Well, I disagree with that. I think Stairway to Heaven is an awesome song. I've never gotten tired of it. But maybe I just haven't heard it as much as Gary has, T-shirted Historian with a $5 Super Chat, in fact, speaks up a little bit for Stairway to Heaven and all these other songs of that ilk, and T-shirted Historian, and I thank you for this Super Chat, my friend, says, Gary, the overplayed super long songs played on the radio were because the DJ needed to go take a dump or smoke a cigarette. Trust me, I've done it. There, you see? So when you were climbing a stairway to heaven, the DJ was out climbing a stairway to tobacco intoxication or, well, the big C, but we don't want to talk about that. Let's keep this positive and happy. By God, we have enough difficulties in the world as it is without bringing up the big C. And I'm not talking about Brie Larson. The big C, get it? Mark C with a $5 Super Chat. Thank you, Mark. Says Maud Adams was the Bond girl in both Man with the Golden Gun and Octopussy. You know what? I do believe you're correct. Now that I'm like picturing it in my mind, that makes a lot of sense, Mark C. Thank you, my friend, for pointing that out. That's very interesting. Wow, a twofer. She must have been good. Kind of like Forrestal. He was good. He was very, very good. No one's come out of that cave alive. Please. Uh-oh. What cave am I talking about? Maud Adams? Oh, we're running in circles here. Or circular orifices. I don't know what I'm going on about. I'm a little punchy today. But thank you for that super chat, my friend. I appreciate it very much. R. Fletch with a $2 super chat. Thank you, R. Fletch. Says they have a jet. I want a haircut. They have a jet. I want a haircut. So you would get on the jet to get groomed, R. Fletch? Is that what you're saying? Or are you leaving on a jet plane and you want to look your best? They have a jet. I want a haircut. Sometimes R. Fletch's pronouncements are mysterious. But such are the ways of cool cats like R. Fletch. Thank you, my friend, very much for that. Dreary Nitpicker with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, oh dreary one. Says, I tried watching Westworld final episode 5 times. Still haven't finished it. Keep falling asleep. So boring. FYI, it's ma'am. Hail, my lords. Hail, Dreary Nitpicker. Well, I unfortunately had to watch Westworld's final episode for the Inquisition, and I don't even get like combat pay for that, you know? I don't even get like free counseling afterwards, grief counseling, you know, psychiatric visits. I don't get any of that. Why does my job not have any health care, especially mental health care, to deal with these crushing disappointments and coma-inducing entertainments? And I put entertainments in quotes there, in case you couldn't hear it. Thank you, Dreary Nitpicker, very, very much for your support, my friend. Troy Tempest with a $5 super chat. Hail, Troy Tempest. He says, good afternoon, my liege. Hail, Doomcock. I watched Discard Season 1, and it sucked. Won't be watching Season 2. SpongeBob rocks. Hail, Gary. Hail, Troy Tempest. Well, listen, man, Troy, I finally figured out where your name came from. I, for the first time, watched the Stingray show with the Super Marionation on it, and I saw that the lead character is named Troy Tempest. So, I have learned a little bit about you, my friend, that you are cool, because I gotta say, that episode of Stingray was so damn cool and geeky and awesome. Man, those props and the effects and the underwater people and the goofy love song at the end when the silent waif chick that they found underneath the sea get help free them, like comes and Troy and her immediately start dating and going on picnics and shit as they end the show. Well, this was a kid's show. Why did they think the kids would be up for that kind of, you know, gooey romantic stuff? I don't know, Troy. But I do know now where you got your name. Or do I know where I got theirs? Cheers, Troy Tempest. Cheers. Ifrit0990 with a $20 super chat. Thank you, my legionnaire and dear friend, Ifrit0990. That is a very generous $20 super chat, Ifrit, and I thank you very, very, very much. I already read that one. So I will ask you instead, what happened with your mom, Ifrit? You need to drop me a line. In fact, I will drop you a line later and just ask you privately. But yeah, man, I'm hoping that your mom is okay. I hope she came through that okay. My mom had something similar. She came out of it just fine. Well, at least as fine as when she went in. I'll just say that. My mom was difficult. But I'm hoping, Ifrit0990, that your mom is just fine and that you're doing okay. And I will touch base with you very shortly. Dreary Nitpicker with a $4.99 super chat. Hail, Dreary Nitpicker. He says, I smile every time I hear Doomcock talking about The Witcher 3. I freaking hate drowners, but my plan for center of the Earth's domination is working. Damn you, Drury Nitpicker. Damn you! Yes, Drury Nitpicker, I have to say that Witcher 3 is awesome, and I'm struggling to maintain balance in my life, but it also is a welcome distraction from my usual fare. And I am deeply, deeply grateful to you, Drury Nitpicker, for sending me that game. Thank you so very, very much. Oh, dreary one. Yes, you have impacted me. You have hampered me, but I shall rise above. My return will be swift and terrible, just as soon as I finish the game. Thank you, Dreary Nitpicker. And Troy Tempest with a $2 Australian Super Chat. Hail, Troy, asks, Gary, what size t-shirt do you take? I will relay that to him today. I'm seeing him for ExoZone here in just a little bit, and I will ask him to let you know. Thank you very much, Troy Tempest. And by the way, I still have, as of yet, not received that t-shirt, brother. I just wanted to let you know, since that reminds me. Diego Flores with 16.90 pens. Thank you, Diego Flores, who says if there was a third cardinal, we could do a Spanish Inquisition meme to send to the SJWs when necessary, which is all the time. It is. When will they ever learn? When will they stop? When will they acquire a modicum of common sense and decency? I don't know, but until that day, the Inquisition will be here, holding the gate, lining the wall, fighting for truth, justice, and the geek way. Thank you, Diego Flores. And Ancaris with a $10 Australian Super Chat. Hail, Ancaris, says late to the stream today. Hail, Doom and Gary from Sydney. Hail, Sydney. Hail, Ancaris. It is wonderful to see you here, and I apologize again for not getting to that night. It just was kind of crazy, but I got to thank you for your support and patience, and hail to Sydney. Drury Nitpicker with a $1.99 Super Chat. Thank you, Drury One, says, what's the best Battlestar to watch? Never seen it. Drury Nitpicker, I would tell you that my opinion, Ron Moore's Battlestar Galactica is the best Battlestar Galactica. Not that you have to compare them, but if you're only going to watch one, it has a narrative sophistication and just a high level of quality of the writing and everything that makes it extremely compelling TV. One of my favorite shows of all time. Now, I love the original, but if you've never seen it and you weren't there, you won't have the, I think, requisite childlike wonder and nostalgic appreciation to really, really understand how great the first Battlestar Galactica was. So that's why I recommended it that way. Thank you very much, Drury Nitpicker. Very much appreciate you, brother. Matt's Mustang 65. Hail, Matt's Mustang 65 with a $20 Super Chat. Hail, Matt. He says, let Gary know I'm a little disappointed at how early his Friday Night Tights stream ends recently. I miss catching them when I get off work on Fridays. I work a night shift and get off work at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. Well, I'll let him know, but, I'm sure he goes a good 4 hours or so, and when he's done, come on over to Friday Night Frolics, which is my live stream. It's jumping, it's fun, and there's no reason you need to be without entertainment. I'm here for you, Matt Mustang 65. Hail to you, brother. I have the solution. Aren't I wonderful?
Yeah, you're wonderful. Let's move on.
All right, Harvey, thank you. R. Fletch with a $5 Super Chat and another $5 Super Chat. 2 $5 Super Chats in a row from R. Fletch. Thank you, R. Fletch, very much, my friend. And he says, Connections was great. Yeah, earlier replies. Connections was great, brother. And I thank you for that Super Chat. He also says, time's on your side. Like time is on my side. Thank you, Fletch. Thank you, R. Fletch, the wonderful, wonderful cat. You are awesome, R. Fletch. Truly, you are. Admiral OF Doom with a $5 super chat. Hail, Admiral. He says, Hollywood reminds me of Doom's rule number 146. Remember, stupidity kills. Just neither often nor quickly enough for my liking. Just an observation. Thank you, Admiral OF Doom. Your observations are keen. Do you have a book of them? Do you write them down ahead of time? Or are these off-the-cuff observations? For just being observations, they are damn fine ones. Thank you, Admiral O.F. Doom. Big Daddy MRI with a $40 super chat of exceeding generosity, and I thank you very much, Big Daddy MRI. Says, good night, Gary. Good night, my liege Doomcock. Good night to the chat. Good night to all the wrenches. Good night, all. Chat tonight was great. Thank you for lifting us up and giving us real entertainment. Cheers. You are very welcome, Big Daddy MRI. In fact, I'm sure I read that at the time, but didn't hurt to read it again. Thank you very much, Big Daddy MRI, wherever you are this fine afternoon. R. Fletch with a $2 super chat says, gosh, I gotta stay more relevant. You are always relevant. You are au courant. R. Fletch, au courant. You are the cat's pajamas and the cat in the cat's pajamas. Who could ask for anything more? I ask you, who could ask for anything more? 13th Warrior with a $5 super chat. Thank you, 13th Warrior. Says Lord of the Rings is also rooted in Tolkien's Catholicism. It doesn't have to be overtly Christian, but those writing it should at least believe good and evil exists. Well, yes, I mean, if they're not going to enter into the spirit of Middle-earth and they're not going to go ahead and treat Tolkien with the respect that is his due, then I don't know why we should pay them the slightest bit of attention, honestly. I just don't. R. Fletch with $2 super chats in a row. Hail, R. Fletch. And on the first super chat, R. Fletch, the wonderful cat, says, okay, gotta be cruel to be me. Well, of course, you're a cat, sir. Cats have a great streak of cruelty in them. If you've ever observed a cat playing with a mice, toying with a small rodent of some kind, well, you understand that, and I understand that, and you're a good kitty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. R. Fletch. Cruel or not, I thank you for joining us on The Inquisition on Friday Night Frolics and just being your own wonderful self. And R. Fletch also says, future ruler of Earth should get some rest. Yes, Sunday I was not feeling well, which is the reason why I wasn't able to bang out the rest of these. But yeah, you know, I have good days and bad days these days, but I am feeling not too bad at the moment. Thank you very, very much, R. Fletch. I did get some rest, and I thank you all for your patience in letting me do that. And finally, for the Inquisition Super Chat Square Up, Jamie Folds with a $5 Super Chat. Hail, my Legionnaire! Jamie Folds says, my lord, please review Netflix Transformers. War for Cybertron airing next month. It's gonna be great fun, is it? Well, I guess I ought to give it a look then. At least it's not, Michael Bay doing it, right? It's not Kurtzman writing it. If not, then I'm in. I will give it a look, and I thank you very much, my friend, for that. And that concludes the Inquisition Super Chats. And now on to the ExoZone. As I said earlier, when we were doing the ExoZone, YouTube itself went down. They could still hear our voices, but chats were not updating, and at the time, I wasn't sure if... I just wasn't sure how long we had, so I decided to go ahead and terminate that particular session, that live stream. And I've just got a handful of super chats here that I want to go ahead and square up for you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. Eddie sends with a $4.99 super chat. Hail, Eddie! Says, I saw something in the sky I can't explain at the Texas Renaissance Fair last winter. Blew my mind. Also, Shatner is the only Kirk. Damn right. Only Shatner is Kirk. Hashtag only Shatner is Kirk. Eddie, send me a email or something, some kind of DM. Detail what it was you saw in the sky. I would very much appreciate it, Any. I thank you for being on the ExoZone. And bless you, my friend. I appreciate you very, very much. Let me know. I want to know more about the story. What did you see in the sky at the Texas Renaissance Fair last winter? Hail, Eddie Sens. Stellar Heather with a $3 super chat. Hail, Stellar Heather says, Hail Doomrodic and happy birthday eve to our Lord. Thank you so much, Stellar Heather. I appreciated all of the presents that you sent me. They were very, very kind. I appreciate all the help you give me on my channel as my wrench. And I just appreciate you being so awesome. Thank you very, very much, Stellar Heather. Corayon Witch in Residence with a $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you, Corayon Witch in Residence, who says, Hail, Exonauts. Did you know that the Celts' stories of being taken away by the fairies match up pretty tightly to alien abduction stories? Corayon Witch in Residence with a second part of that super chat for $5. And again, I thank you. Says, what's more interesting is when abductees have tried the things to keep fairies away. The abduction stopped. Wow, now that is very, very weird. Corayon Witch in Residence. Very, very weird indeed. Wow. Fascinating. God, the things you learn. I've heard things like that before. But I guess I'd like to ask you, what were those things? Just in case, in case we need them. Corayon Witch in Residence, what were the steps that people took to avoid getting abducted by the so-called fairies? That's fascinating. Let me know, Corayon Witch in Residence. My ears and my mind are all open. 3D Trekker with a $10 super chat says, open it. Happy early birthday, my friend. Thank you, 3D Trekker. I did open it. I thought it was fabulous. For those of you who don't know, it was an Area 51 saucer that, when the button is pushed, played my introduction in my own voice to the ExoZone. So I have an ExoZone official saucer, which is absolutely fantastic. The sport model from Area 51 that Bob Lazar spoke about with great eloquence early in his career, and I just want to thank 3D Trekker for sending me that marvelous, marvelous thing. It was wonderful and super cool, and I am very proud to have it and to be your friend. Thank you, 3D Trekker. Peter DeRosa with a $24.99 super chat. Hail, Peter DeRosa, who says, happy early birthday, DC. Much love for you and all you do, brother. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Question for you and my man Gary. Have either of you read the comic Virus by Dark Horse? I enjoy the movie too. No, I never read Virus by Dark Horse, and I will try to remember to ask Gary on this ExoZone coming up here in just about 45 minutes, that question as well. Thank you, Peter DeRosa. R.N. Feliciano, hail Raymond, with a $5 super chat. One of my wrenches. Raymond, you are awesome. The author of All's Fair, the Dolphin Wars saga. And R.N. Feliciano says, my problem with UFOs is the speed of light. They would have come to Earth thousands of years ago to get here now. Could they see the future? No, I don't think so, Raymond. I don't think so. From what I understand, you don't have to really even have light speed. What you can do is travel close to the speed of light, and apparently the time dilation effects are such that it's a doable trip somehow. I don't quite understand it. It's a weird. I've heard different things about it. It's bear in mind, R.N. Feliciano, that when you actually hit the speed of light, the literal speed of light, like a photon, for a photon, no time passes in its travels. In other words, when it leaves the sun and it hits the Earth, it takes 9 minutes. But from the photon's perspective, it was instantaneous. Now, try to wrap your head around that, man. Ha! How very, very weird, isn't it? Thank you, Raymond Feliciano. And my best to Sandra. Tall, Dark, and Gruesome with a £2 super chat. Hail, Tall, Dark, and Gruesome one. Says, have you been down the David Paulides rabbit hole? Yeah. I mean, I haven't gone all the way down, but we have discussed Missing 411 on the ExoZone before, and I have watched some documentaries, and I think they are absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Thank you very much, Tall, Dark, and Gruesome. Yes, I suggest David Paulides to anyone who is very interested in that weirdness. We did a whole show on that one time. Mexican Iron Man with a $19.99 super chat. Hail, Mexican Iron Man, and thank you, my friend. He says, happy early birthday, my lord. Great show today. I totally needed this today to keep the spirits up out here on the West Coast. Thank you both for all you do for us. You two are the leaders we need and deserve. I am thrilled and honored, my friend, to be one of your many leaders. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. You are awesome, brother. I had a wonderful birthday because of all of you out there. It would not have been anything remarkable in the slightest if it wasn't for you guys, and I thank you very, very much for all of your support, kindness, and the love that you've sent me over the past couple of weeks, especially. I mean, you send it all the time, but particularly around my birthday. I'm very, very grateful to you all. Mary Ashmead sent me a hot dog super sticker, and I thank you, Mary Ashmead. You are awesome. And the queen of the wrenches, folks. Just in case you didn't know, Mary Ashmead, queen of the wrenches. Lucas Bachman with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Lucas Bachman. He says, no, ancient astronauts did not build the pyramids. Human beings built them because they're clever and they work hard. Gene Roddenberry on Trek. Well, and I would add, Gene Roddenberry, unfortunately, human beings built them because they're clever and they work hard and they use slaves. So you left out the part about slaves, Gene. I mean, I know you're all about optimism and, you know, the future's so bright you got to wear shades and everything, but let's not forget the slaves, okay? Let's not forget the Hebrew slaves in Egypt that actually helped to build the pyramids. Not to mention the ones in Mesoamerica, right? The Mayans and the Toltecs and all that stuff. Not pleasant people. Zero Duality with a $2 super chat. Hail, Zero Duality. Says, Gary, will you be my wonder wall? That sounds so bad. I'm glad he's not here to answer that. I would say no, but I'll answer on his behalf. I'll say no. I don't think Gary wants to be your wonder wall. That sounds terrible. I know I saw a movie called that. It was by, or it had George Harrison in it, or it was financed by George Harrison or something. But, yeah. If some guy walks up to you and says, will you be my wonder wall? Say no. That's the safest course of action, in my opinion. Ninja Lawyer Steve with a $10 super chat. Hail, Ninja Lawyer Steve, who says, could I interest Harvey in Bitwampum? He's missing out on a golden opportunity.
No, I don't go for that virtual crap, that Bitcoin or any of that, cryptocurrency, whatever you call it. And cryptocurrency is just another word for nothing. And I'm not in the business of nothing. But thank you, Ninja Lawyer Steve. You're shyster. Ninja Lawyer Shyster Steve. Or Ninja Lawyer Steve the Shyster. TM. I like that. If you use that, you owe me a nickel.
Thank you, Ninja Lawyer Steve. I don't think he's big on the Bitwampum, but I thank you, Ninja Lawyer Steve, for suggesting that. You know, as an attorney, it's important to keep your client informed of the possibilities. Nicholas Horton with a £5 super chat. Hail, Nicholas Horton. He says, some wampum for future destroyer Harvey, and happy birthday, DC. Thank you very much, Nicholas Horton. You were very, very kind to me repeatedly on many, many, many different live streams and occasions during my birthday, and I thank you very much, Nicholas, for that. Jerron Jones sent a piece of birthday cake to me, and I thank you, Jerron Jones, very, very much. Psycho Dwarf 9 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Psycho Dwarf 9. He says, Harvey, once a month, in an adjoining dimension, once a month, I'll send peanut butter cookies.
I thank you, sir. You're a good guy, Psycho Dwarf 9. Sometimes I recall in the past you've given me some shit, but today you are aces in my book, brother. And thank you very much, Psycho Dwarf 9.
Louis the Plank with a $5 super chat. Louis the Plank. The wonderful, wonderful Plank says, Hail Doomcock and Gary, do you have any recommendations for UFO or paranormal books? I'm new to the topics, looking for some great starting points. Well, I would recommend Flying Saucers Serious Business by, I believe it was Frank Edwards. That's a very good book, and it's kind of an older book, but it has some of the best UFO photos of all time in it, and it just, I don't know, I really like that one. Above Top Secret by Timothy Good, I believe is that his name, Timothy Good. Also Alien Bases by Timothy Good. Both of those are outstanding books that I recommend highly, and I think those are great starting points. And also I believe that Gary would recommend a book called The Bermuda Triangle. I think it was by Berlitz, maybe. He I remember him earlier saying that was his big favorite paranormal book that got him hooked on this stuff. Thank you, Louis the Plank. Brian Sloan with a $5 super chat. Hail, Brian. He says, Hail, Doomcock and Gary. Do you know about the Kecksburg incident? It is considered by some to be Pennsylvania's Roswell. I do, Brian. We have actually talked about the Kecksburg incident, I believe, on this show. And I guess I'll have to ask Gary about his recollections of it. But listen, there's all sorts of stuff going on in the world. UFOs have crashed all over the place, apparently. I guess when you're flying around at that speed and zigzagging and going Scheipentine, accidents will happen, as Elvis Costello famously said, or sang. Brian Sloan, thank you very much. I don't have details about the Kecksburg incident at my fingertips, but I am familiar with it to some extent, and it is a fascinating case. Thank you, Brian, for raising that today. And finally, Carl Manvers with a $5 New Zealand super chat. Thank you, Carl Manvers says, Hi, guys. If you liked The Day After as a touchstone, then check out Threads. Same scenario, set in the UK, and extends the timeline of events. Interesting. Well, I didn't like The Day After. I mean, I think that The Day After was an important piece of entertainment, for the Western world. I think it enlightened a lot of people as to what could happen in a nuclear war. So it's not an enjoyable kind of thing, but yeah, I see what you're saying. So basically Threads is a more in-depth version of The Day After than aired here in the States. Well, that doesn't surprise me. British TV used to be the best TV. Now, of course, with the BBC in charge and gone woke, it's gone broke in more ways than one, not just financially, but spiritually. But, I will take a look at it. Thank you, Carl Manvers. And that concludes this edition of Superchat Square Ups for this past week. And I want to thank all of you guys for all of your patience, all of your support. It means a lot to me, and Harvey and Sabu, frankly. It keeps him in nuts. Sabu, not Harvey.
Don't say it keeps Harvey in nuts.
Yeah, I know.
It sounds bad.
I know it does. Sorry about that, Harvey. Well, thank you all very, very much for all your support. And this has been the Super Chat Square Up, I guess, Volume 20. We don't do them that often, but when we do, we leave no Super Chat behind. And I just want to thank you all for being here. And from the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.